打个招呼吗？
是的。
大家好，我是 PSG 上路 Hanabi。
Great. So, of course, firstly, got to give you guys props. Congratulations on the 3-0 over JT today. What are your thoughts right now? 首先当然要恭喜 PSG 战队以3-0的成绩战胜了台北 J 战队，顺利拿下本场比赛。那对于今天的成绩来说呢，Hanabi 选手可以跟我们说一下现在心情如何呢？
对于今天赢下比赛，就心情蛮开心的吧。毕竟，其实在开赛前压力有点大，毕竟输的话就可能没有世界赛了。
Well, he said that they're relieved that they managed to win today. He said actually before coming into today's match, he felt a lot of pressure. The team felt a lot of pressure because they knew that if they lost today's series, they wouldn't be able to make it to Worlds this time around. So the next question I want to ask you, in yesterday's post-match interview when we were talking to Doggo, he said that BYG were only able to beat your team because they were lucky. So I wanted to ask what your thoughts are about this and also why you think your team lost yesterday's series. 那接下来就想跟你聊聊关于昨天的系列赛。就 Doggo 在昨天的赛后采访中说 ，BYG 是因为运气好才能赢下 PSG 战队。然后 Hanabi 选手个人认为昨天没能拿下比赛胜利的原因会是什么呢？还有对 Doggo 所说的有什么意见呢？
我认为昨天没赢下比赛的原因，应该是我们整体发挥的，就是配合性有点差。然后 BYG 战队打得很好，所以我认为Doggo并不是运气取胜，他们确实打得比我们好。
So he says that he doesn't think that what Doggo said is true. He thinks that BYG definitely didn't just win because they were lucky. He thinks that yesterday BYG played extremely well. They were able to play together very well, and whereas for their team, they just weren't able to communicate with each other and just be on the same page throughout the entire series. So the next question I wanted to ask, because for yesterday's series, when you guys lost that game number 2 in that best of 5, before that, PSG had a 22 win streak within PCS summer. So yesterday's loss versus BRG was the team's first loss within PCS for a whole 6 months since February. That was the last time that your team dropped a game. So do you think that for a team such as yours, who rarely drops games, that when you do lose a game, it's harder to come back from that mentally? 那接下来就想问关于选手和团队心态的问题，就是因为 PSG 在 PCS 夏季赛连胜了22场，然后昨天之前在 PCS 赛区前一次被击败的经验是整整6个月前2月份的事了。那对于没什么输的经验的 PSG 战队来说，就输了一场之后，反而会不会比较难调整好心态呢？
在昨天输了比赛之后，就没想到自己会在 PCS 输嘛。但是我们也是在国际赛常常输了，其实调整心态这方面其实算是简单，就把自己觉得是问题点的提出来，然后改进，然后来应对接下来的比赛。
So he said that he actually thinks that resetting mental isn't that big of a problem to fix. He thinks that once you lose a game or when the team loses a game, they kind of go back and they review and they get word from the rest of their team about where exactly their mistakes were and where their problems were that happened within the game. And once they know that, it's just more of an intellectual thing that they can solve where the problems were and then just do better and focus on those points next time. So I wanted to ask, just as a follow-up to that, then between yesterday as well as today, just how was the team able to reset your mentality before today's best of 5? Because it looked as if you guys came back and there was almost no problem at all. You guys had a smooth 3-0 today. 那团队就从昨天比赛之后到今天开赛之前是怎么调整好状态的呢？是管理层还是教练有跟你们说了些什么呢？
在昨天到今天比赛之前，我们就开了个会议嘛，然后 想一下昨天输的原因，然后大家提出来，然后想一下今天该怎么打，然后去改变 BP 的策略。
So he said that between yesterday and today, the team actually held a team meeting together, and they had everyone just kind of go through and bring up what they thought that the problems were that they weren't able to win yesterday's series were, and they just went through that together. Also, they talked a bit more specifically about the match. For example, they brought up just what they needed to change with regards to their picks and bans, and then they tried to fix that for today. So the next question I wanted to ask is, did your team spend much time this week preparing for today's lower bracket finals versus JT at all? Like, did your team expect to even be in today's competition? 接下来想问的就是对于这周比赛的准备来说，你们 PSG 战队是多少有准备到对上台北这一战队的呢？还有没有预期到你们会落到败部呢？
对于今天对上台北这战队，其实算是准备的比较少了，因为就把全部的准备都放在 BYG 身上了，所以也没有预想过自己会输到败部。
So he said that the team didn't actually prepare all that much to face a Taipei J team because they didn't expect that they would be dropping down to the lower bracket. So the next question that I wanted to ask you is that your team usually puts you on tank duty over in the top side. Like today, you played that Gnar, you played Ornn as well in game number 2. Game 1, you had that pixel perfect Gnar ultimate in the Dragon Pit. But during game 3, you proved that you can also play Gwen, picking up the MVP for that round. So I wanted to ask, just personally, are you more comfortable playing tanks for your team, or would you rather play those carry top laners? 那对于选角来说，这个团队通常会选 tank 给你玩，然后可是今天这个 Hanabi 选手也第3局的冠有了特别好的发挥，也拿下了那场的 MVP。然后想问，这 Hanabi 选手个人是比较喜欢玩斗士英雄吗？
我个人喜好的英雄其实就坦克跟斗士其实都是可以玩的，就是看对面的阵容跟我们阵容怕什么跟需要什么，然后我再去做选角。
So he says that he actually likes to play a mixture of both. So he likes to play both tanks as well as a duelist over in the top lane. He says that it really depends more on what the opposition team picks and what kind of champion they need to pick for their own team composition over the top. So if they need a tank, they'll pick a tank for him. And if they need him to be on a duelist, then they'll pick a duelist for him. So my last question that I have to ask for tomorrow's rematch, how confident are you going up against BYG again tomorrow? 那最后一个问题想问的就是，对于明天要在决赛再次对上 BYG， 有信心能够拿下胜利吗？
对于明天要再对上 BYG 战队一次的话，就肯定是要有信心去取胜的，因为我们已经吸收输3场的经验了嘛，就改进问题，然后明天取。
So he said that, of course, the team needs to be able to have confidence in order to win. And since the team has already come together and talked about what sort of mistakes they've made and about why they've lost those couple of games recently, he thinks that they know what to do and they'll be able to do that for tomorrow. Thank you so much, Hanabi, for the interview. And of course, good luck in tomorrow's finals. 好的，那非常感谢 Hanabi 选手接受今天的赛后采访，祝 PSG 明天决赛加油！主播回你们了，
拜拜。